So I have a 10 millimeter, yeah, 10 millimeter socket. You go over here. You can come down from up there. Is that better to hold it back out of the way or a little bit? I'm going to go ahead and pull this screw out right here. Okay. I'm going to take that off. And we have underneath a little plate right here. Give me my parts holder. And then we have a plug here. Now I want you to zoom in good on the plug so you can see how I take it off. These plugs are tricky. Right here in the middle is a push tab. Pushes down. A lot of times they stick, you know, they get sticky on the other end where we're catching. So what I do is I push in and I kind of squeeze and push inwards and then pull it. So I'm going to do that. Push inwards and then pull it. And hopefully it'll come right off. There it goes. Get that out of our way. And then the sensor, it's loose now. You take it and you pull it up out of the hole. Now if it's really clogged up, this is what it looks like. We've cleaned this one, so it's pretty clean. The bad ones, you can't tell what that is. And when they're really bad, they won't come out of this hole very easily. So you have to work it. You have to kind of work it and keep working it. Maybe get a little screwdriver under it and work it until you get it up. Because if this is really bad, maybe inside the pipe, where it's coming through the pipe, maybe it's built up that much, who knows? And you have to kind of scrape that off. So here's a new one, right here. You're gonna put this one on, okay? Yeah, and we'll clean that one. Normally you can just clean this to see if it, clears up some of your problems. If your fuel mileage is dropping. If it's really, really bad, I suggest go ahead and replacing it, because up inside the plastic part here, the square part, up in the head, is the pressure sensor. That's what really gets screwed up. And down here, you can kind of see it on that one in the light. I don't know if you can see that little sensor in the middle there. That's a temperature sensor. So it's actually more important to keep the top part of it clean. So if you clean this out with a toothbrush, you do it really, really well. And then you just kind of do this, clean the head. You can see all the carbon dropping out of the head. So this one's pretty clean, like I said. But we're going to keep that as a spare, and we're going to go ahead and put a new one on. But we're not going to put it on right now, because we already know we have to take all the intake off on this one, because that one was really bad. So we're going to go ahead and start taking this apart. So the next thing I'm going to take off is the delta P sensor. The delta P sensor cannot be cleaned. It has to be replaced, because here's a new one. Carbon gets up inside this thing, in between these two plates, and if you spray anything in here, it warps the plates, causes bad readings. It's just as bad when you put it on after you clean it as you take it off, so you just have to replace it every 250,000 miles or so. I'm going to go ahead and take this one off. Just 2 screws, like this. This one's never been off, right?
No.
Okay. Looks like somebody worked on this a long time ago. You can see some paint's chipped off. So, but it looks like they put the original back on for some reason, which is about as useless as you can get. We're going to take that. We're going to take this. There you go. Same thing, little plug. We're going to squeeze it. And this one is painted, so it's usually tougher, but I think this one's going to come off pretty quick. Yeah, that one came off pretty good. Looks like maybe somebody had it once. So we're going to end up chunking that in the trash. And you got 2 O-rings here. Sometimes they will stick to this, and sometimes they'll stick to this, but they go right here, like that. Make sure the new one either has new O-rings, or you reuse the old ones if they're good and you don't happen to get new O-rings with the new one, but you should get new O-rings. This block here is just sitting on here now. Okay, it'll come off, except for these 2 tubes are holding it. So what I like to do is I like to take this off as an assembly with these two fittings right here. So I have to go find a wrench, and I'll be right back. Okay. Alright, so I found my 17 wrench. Take these two tubes off. I'm going to knock them loose. And try not to fall over. You just pull this back a bit. The other one. This piping here, right there. This is the, they call this the crossover tubes. And that feeds the Delta P or EGR differential pressure sets, or whatever you call it. And it doesn't look too bad. You can sort of see, maybe zoom in on that. It's not too bad. And the inside of the pipe here. Now inside there it looks pretty good and dirty. I don't know if you can get in there on that. That's pretty good and dirty, but it's not completely clogged. So we're going to go ahead and clean that out, because if we don't clean that out, guess what happens when we put the new sensor on? Eventually it ends up back in there. So we're going to go ahead and clean these. But we're going to take all this apart first. We're going to clean it all together. So go ahead and set that over there.
Set this over there?
Yeah, go ahead and set it on a mat or something. Get a mat we can throw all the parts on.
Is this
a big mat, maybe from over there.
Sure.
We're going to have to clean it out with some brake cleaner.
Oh.
I mean, not brake cleaner, sorry. Carburetor and choke cleaner. Cummins says brake cleaner in the book. But every time I've done this with brake cleaner, they clog up twice as fast afterwards. It kind of creates a slip magnet. So
right.
Carbon choke cleaner, they don't do that. Anyways,
Sorry.
we're going to continue on, and we're going to go ahead and remove this pipe and the intake manifold and everything else, because I know it's all bad. It's all clogged up. So I need a wrench for that. I'll go get that. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Instead of taking both sides off, because I know I'm going to take this off, I'm going to go ahead and just take the one side here and loosen it. These are not the original clamps, by the way. Somebody's changed these clamps on your engine there. So somebody has had it apart. There it goes. There it goes. There. Alright. We'll take it loose there. We're going to have to take this sensor off. It looks like somebody has, usually this is wrapped and it has a plug. So somebody has replaced some of this stuff before. So we have this plug here. We need a little flathead screwdriver to take this plug apart. I'm going to get that. I dropped my socket. There you go. You might want to come down here and zoom in. These plugs are tricky. There can be. You've got another squeeze point here that you have to squeeze in on with your fingers. But before you do that, you have a lock right across here. If you see that red on this side with a hole through it, it's locked. If you see the solid side without that, it's unlocked. Here's the side that's the solid side. You just get something in here like this and try not to break it, and give it a little bit of a go to try to get that off of there. Help a little bit here. There it goes. Now it unlocked. Okay, make sure it's all the way. And then push in on this one. Push down, in. Give it a little bit of pressure. It comes right off. That's the magic plug, by the way. And we got that out of our way. And we're going to take this piece next. And we're going to look down inside it, see how bad it is. Now there's some shops I've been to, a very few, but a few, that will tell you that those crossover tubes need to be cleaned. And this Venturi, it's called the Venturi pipe, by the way. It's its official name, I think. Mixing pipe, Venturi pipe. Some shops will tell you that that has to be removed and cleaned. you know, if you get turbo alarms or, you know, so, because believe it or not, it's in the Insight software to tell you to clean this before a turbo replacement. So some of them actually take the time to read it. But so that's probably why this has been off before. I think somebody's had that off. You can tell the intake manifold's never been off though, or that pipe there. So it looks like somebody got this far and didn't go any further. So we're gonna find the sockets to do that and take that apart. There's a 13 millimeter. I'm going to start with the back one, which is here. It's a little bracket, holds it on the back. Knock that thing loose. I love my wrench. That's pretty rusty.
Yeah.
Put a little bit of something on that before we put it back on, maybe. You want to put that in a box somewhere, or save it. And we got one here, and here. It's basically 3 screws. Very loose. Yay, I dropped my socket.